So you want to get into goats. Here's some tips and differences that I have found over the years having goats, especially when compared to sheep. Bit covered in hay. Sheep all do the same thing and they all seem the same. Goats aren't the same at all. Each goat has a unique personality. The personality differences are massive. Some are skitty, some are friendly, and it's about getting to know those and using it to your advantage if you can. Quite often, well-tempered mums pair with being good mums too. Quite often the nicest goats are really good mums. Another massive difference. Sheep, you can feed them all in the same trough or in the same hay ring, etc. Goats, you can't do that. I have put individual piles of hay all around this whole pen, everywhere. All around and everywhere. You just install a hay rack for goats. The biggest, strongest and most powerful dominant goats will just patrol it and no other goats will get anything to eat. You can't really kid a goat the same way you can lamb a goat. You can, but it's ideal not to. Goats need less interference than sheep do. Now the biggest one that most people will tell you is absolute escape artists. With sheep, you just put up gates just like normal. And let me just check out my improvised systems for goats. Hold on. Your goat pen, it's got kids in it, is barricaded. Completely barricaded everywhere. Look, anything we can find. And one more further tip on that is be prepared that even though you've done that, they will still get out. Because that's just what goats are like. One big tip, difference between lambing and kidding goats. When a lamb is born, you really quickly want to get the colostrum into it. You see most farmers will get the lamb straight on the mother. First job, key job. It's not the same with goats. Goats have a different internal system. They need to warm up and be the right temperature before they'll digest any milk. So if you treat a lamb like a goat like a lamb, in that sense, you'll find that they just won't suck, and they'll only suck the milk when they're ready to. So actually, clean and warm, fundamentally, will get the goats' babies going better. Goats fight a lot more than you think. Sheep don't really do that. Just right now, I've just put some hay into these yards. I'll spread it all around again. You've got a few in here. They'll butt heads. They'll fall out. They'll bully this one out. That's why I put it. She'd already had some though. Got the big bucket at the back. We'll take the lion's share. Dominance is a massive thing with goats. The second a goat sees a weakness in another goat, they attack. Not like sheep. Sheep aren't really interested, but goats do. So when a goat is kidding in the yard, for example, when she's a bit tired, weak, the other goats, they won't have any sympathy. They will just headbutt and attack. My God, goats are different to sheep. You won't herd goats. Have you heard of the phrase herding cats? Well, it should be herding goats. Sheep will all follow each other really well and really easily. Goats not quite so much. Sometimes they might, but be prepared, they won't. Barricade what you can, make rugs, funnels, or anything you can, make sure you've tied it tight. This is something you'll only really find out through your vet. Coccidiosis on indoor goats is rife. You've got to really keep an eye on that. And what's more, the one we struggle with the most, if you put goats outside, they're incredibly susceptible to worms. Sheep have managed to evolve their resistance to worms, so sheep are brilliantly resistant to most worms in the ground that you can see, generally around grazing. But goats haven't got that. Goats have been introduced later to the evolution cycle, or whatever the scientific thing is. So when they graze, they can get the eggs inside the stomach and they hatch a lot worse than they do in sheep. So you need to really watch out for worms. On the subject of worms, goats are much better with an oral drench, and sheep are better with injectable wormer. So that's another cool fact for you. I'm trying to think of any more.